Alright, we're going to talk about the umbrella of real numbers. Real numbers is the name for all different types of numbers, both rational and irrational numbers. So real numbers are rational and irrational numbers. And then we have two branches off of the real numbers. We have rational numbers and we have irrational numbers. Remember, irrational numbers are numbers that can't be a fraction. These are your non-perfect squares. And remember, that's things like the square root of 7. I don't have two numbers that multiply together by itself to give me 7. And that's just like the square root of 100, or 101. 10 times 10 is 100, and 11 times 11 is 121. So there's no two whole numbers that multiply by itself to give me 101. So it has to be a non-perfect square. And we have never-ending and non-repeating decimals. And the most common one you will see is pi, the pi symbol. That does not say that 3.14 is irrational. This means that the symbol pi that never ends is irrational. Now we have a whole lot of different types of rational numbers. We have natural numbers, which are your counting numbers. When you start counting, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you go on from there. Next, we have whole numbers. Whole numbers are natural numbers because the only difference between a whole number and natural numbers is to include 0. So these are natural numbers plus 0. So when we start counting with whole numbers, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Next, we have integers. Integers are the positive and negative numbers. So it's any type of number that's positive and negative. We could have negative 10, we could have negative 15, and so on. Next, we have fractions. Fractions are a part of a whole. And we know fractions, and it could be positive or negative fractions. We could have 10/3. We could have negative 8/9. We could also have mixed numbers. A mixed number is a fraction with a whole number. Mixed numbers could be negative 10 and 1/2. We could have 3 and 4/5. Anything that looks similar to that. Next, we have terminating decimals. These are decimals that end. They come to an end. So we could have 0.4. We could also have 3.14. We have repeating decimals. These are decimals that create a pattern with numbers. So we can have it written as 0.6 with the bar over it, and remember that bar lets us know if a number or numbers repeat. We could have 3.26 with the bar over both of the numbers. We could also have 4.22222 dot dot dot. That dot 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 also lets us know that the 2's are going to continue on. And then the last two things we have are perfect squares. And that is a square root of a whole number. So we have the square root of 9, the square root of 64, the square root 121. The last type of rational number we have are perfect cubes. This has a cubed root of a whole number. And we could have the cube root of 8, the cubed root of 64, or the cube root of 27. So this is the big umbrella of the different types of numbers we have in the real number system.